In this video, I'm going to configure the IP address of each device, configure the static routes of the router to successfully ping PC1 to PC2. But the trick here is we're going to use only this network 192.168.1, 192.168.100, and 192.168.254 only. So let's start with R1. Go to command line, enable, then configure terminal. Let's give R1 a host name. So host R1. Let's go to the interface G00. Let's give R1 an IP address. Let's go IP address 192.168.1. Let's give R1 .2. Let's reserve .1 for PC1 and PC2. And 255.255.0. Also, let's add a description to switch 1. I think description is a good practice so that when a project is hand over to you, you can easily know which connection the routers or the devices will flow. So let's go exit. No shutdown. Make the line active. Let's go to router main. Let's go with interface G01. So the key here in this problem is that we're not going to use /24, but we need to separate this into a two networks. So let's subnet this as /25. Let's go. IP address 192.168.100.1, then 255.255.128, then description to our main, then exit. No shutdown. Forgot the no shutdown. Then exit. The state is up, but it's still a red because router main is still down. So before we go to router main, let's keep a note for router 1. 92.168.1.2. Then let's give PC1 192.168.1.1. Also here, let's go 192.168.100.0/25. Then let's add heat here. We use .1 for R1. So let's use .2 for R2. Gonna be 128. So let's configure R2. Router main. Sorry. Enable. Configure terminal. Let's give router main a host name. Go with host. R main. Go with R main. Then interface. Go with G01. IP address 192.168.100.2, 55.255.255.128. Then description to switch to R1. Then exit. No shutdown first. So the link is up. Exit. Let's go with interface G02. Then let's add an IP address 192.168.100. Let's give 129 to the router main. Wait. Then description R2, and now shut down. Then exit. Let's keep it a note. 192.168.100.2.129, or shortcut it to .129. And here we give .130 to R2. So let's give that 2 for 192.168.254.2. So we can give that one to PC1. I mean PC2, 192.168.1. So let's configure R2. Enable. And let's give router to a host name. Configure terminal. Host R2. Go with interface G02. IP address 192.168.100.130 and 255.255.128. Description to our main. Then no shutdown. The link is up. Let's go with interface G00. Let's give IP address 192.168.254.2, 255.255.255.0. Then description switch to, then no shutdown. Exit. Will they ping each other? Of course not, because we're not yet finished. We are not yet finished configuring their static routes. So let's start with R1. And also because we didn't finish configuring their default gateways. So first, let's finish the static routes. Let's go with IP route. So we need destination. Go 192.168.254.0. Then destination subnet. Then the next hop. The next hop gonna be this router. So we're using .2. So 192.168.100.2. Then we're going to configure router main. Then IP route. We need 192.168.1.0. Then it's subnet mask. Then next hop is 192.168.100.1, which is R1 local IP address. Then another one, IP route 192.168.254.0, and subnet mask 0. Then that 130, we're going to use 192.168.100.130. So we finish adding IP routes, static routes for router main and R1. And to finish, let's go with R2. IP route 192.168.1.0, 5.0. Then the next hop is 192.168.100.129. And we are finished configuring their static routes. So we're going to add default gateway PC1 and PC2. Configure default gateway. Default gateway will be the local address of router 1 connected to 192.168.1.0's network. So 192.168.1.2. And their IP address is .1, 192.168.1.1. We use tab to automatically fill subnet mask. The same goes for PC2. Let's configure default gateway. which is 192.168.254.2, and then fast Ethernet 192.168.254.1, and tab, close. So let's try and ping PC1 to PC2. So 192.168.254.1. Request timeout. Another timeout. As you can see, we have a connection. See, we successfully built the connection between PC1 and PC2. The reason because of request timeout is because the devices is still trying to learn, still broadcasting for requests for connection until it reach PC2. Now, because PC1 already reached PC2, that's why the second ping, it has a connection already, and that's why. So yeah, we complete the objective. We successfully ping PC1 to PC2. Thanks for watching.